rocking some beautiful hair from one of my favorite companies to work with. This hair comes courtesy of Westkiss. Not gonna hold you, we're gonna jump right into the video. I'm gonna show you exactly how I made this wave from start to finish. Really quickly, this is body wave hair. I have in a frontal in 3 bundles. So the length of the bundles that I have in are 24, 24, 26 with a 20-inch 13x4 lace frontal. But just a recommendation, if you do order this hair, make sure that if you're going to get 2 of one length, make sure it is your longest length opposed to like your medium length or your middle length. This is my 22-inch bundle. As you guys can see, this hair is super full and it's just 3 bundles in a frontal. It almost looks like 4 bundles in a frontal, but I did not even have to touch my 4th bundle. The hair comes really nice, super bouncy and silky. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the tutorial. You're gonna be learning how to make a really nice wig today. I did everything on camera except for customizing the hairline, which that was just a quick swoop-de-whoop-de-woot. It's kind of finesse because there's a ton of powder in there, so it's a lot thicker than what it looks like. Also, I'm sure you already seen it in the title, but there is going to be a huge hair giveaway. We will be having 3 lucky winners. Westkiss is sponsoring this giveaway, so make sure that you stick around to the end of the video so that you figure out exactly how to enter.
So today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a wig using the hot glue gun method. We're using our hair from Westkiss. This is the bag. You get 4 bundles and your frontal, or at least that's what I chose. My frontal is a 13-inch by 4-inch frontal and it is 20 inches long. The texture on this hair is body wave. Really nice sheen, nice wave. It does have some pre-made baby hair just in the front center. These are the wig caps I'm going to be using. I buy them by the 3-pack. This time I chose the mesh. Sometimes I get the mesh, sometimes I get the spandex. I literally just alternate, but I like both. I'll have both linked down below, but again, today I am using the mesh. So a lot of times I get questions, which side is the front? Face your mannequin head sideways and see which side matches your head the best. I find what is considered to be the back of the mannequin head to fit my head better than the other side because the other side I get gaps. So there are perforated lines on the wig caps and they help you to line up your wig cap. If you're using blonde hair, I recommend the blonde cap and your blonde thread. That way everything is a lot more seamless, but because we have natural brown hair today, we're going to be going with the regular schmegler. So applying the frontal. Line up your frontal in the very center where the perforated lines are and just drag it right in front. So basically you have the dome cap and then you have your frontal. Kind of pull it in front so that the baby hair lays like in front of your cap. If you have a really big head, I would suggest going maybe like an inch or 2 lower down if you need like more cap. But if you have a normal to small head, I only recommend that you go up to maybe about a ½ inch to an inch. That way your wig is not too big. So I flip it over and I add a tip pin to the center to line up with the center of the front. And then on each side, I line it up. There's a ribbon on the very tip of the frontal. And I like to make sure that lines up so that the frontal lays very flat and neat on each side. And the ribbon sits just below the cap. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, replay this part about 2 or 3 times until visually you can see what I'm talking about. But that's that ribbon there and it lays perfectly. Everything is flush. So now I'm going to go ahead and get the hair out of the way by pinning it up. You could have pinned it up before. And when you're done, you should have this McDonald's M going on. If you don't have this M like this, it might not come out right. Obviously, if you have a different head shape than me, you may, require something different. But I find that whenever I apply my frontal, it has to have that M in the front or it just does not lay right. Hopefully, I'm making sense. So now we're going to go ahead and sew it down. Once it's lined up, how you sew it, the way you sew it is literally up to you. Some people get real fancy and like this loop and pull and knot method. I've definitely tried that and I've done that many of times. But when a girl's trying to just get the wig done, I'm just trying to loop it, pull it, loop it, pull it. Ain't no knotting it each time or anything like that. But again, it's about preference and experience. I am using nylon thread. I do find that nylon thread just works better. It is a point of preference, cotton thread is a little bit more affordable, but I do find that it knots up so much more and it is so much thicker. It is literally double if not triple the thickness of nylon thread. So the nylon thread helps your wig to lay flatter. Sometimes you'll have it to where like the wig will or the thread will knot and you'll literally have to cut it and start over on that track. I never have that problem with nylon thread. It just works amazing. So make sure that you use like bobby pins, or not bobby pins, like duck belt clips or whatever you can to keep the flyaways and baby hairs out of your wig when you're sewing. But as you can see, if you look close, like there is hair threaded in as I'm sewing that is just getting in the way and it just gets sewn in, and that is completely fine, girl. Your tracks are going to meet with your frontal and no one will ever notice. So I am going to be using the hot glue gun method today. One option is to go ahead and put like a shower cap or a plastic bag in between your canvas wig head and your wig. That way as the glue goes through the wig cap, it does not get on your canvas head and mess it up. Mine is already messed up, so I don't mind it, but that is just an option for you guys. I highly recommend that you put a cap in between. That way it'll be easier to peel off whenever you're done, and it won't mess up your canvas mannequin head or your styrofoam mannequin head, whichever you choose to use. I will use or leave both options below. At this point, we've started to lay the tracks. Our first bundle is 24 inches. We're going to be using 3. So basically, you just go ahead and add your glue, apply the track. I usually apply the glue only halfway because this glue does get really hot, but it does dry extremely fast. So sometimes if you apply the glue all the way across and then you apply the track, just that quick the glue will dry. So it'll still stick, but it won't stick as well, for a long-term hold. So basically you just go ahead and you take your bundle, you line it up with the area that you want to cover, measure how much you need, cut off the excess, apply your glue to the cap halfway. Make sure that when you apply the bundle that you kind of press it in. Typically I have on fake nails and I'll use the back of my nail because if I use my finger it's really hot. So if there's glue seeping through and it touches my finger, it will burn. Like it really is hot. Be cautious because this glue gets really, really, really hot. So basically that's what we're going to do all the way up. You just measure out how much you need, cut off the excess, apply your glue halfway, apply the track, press it in so that it can dry very nicely and not move. Twist your form head or your wig head around, apply glue to the remainder of the area, cover it almost immediately with the remainder of the track, press it in, and that track is laid. Again, you see I'm using the back of my nail to press it in because I do have acrylic, so it's a barrier so it's not too hot. And literally you just keep doing this. So the hot glue gun that I use, I know a lot of times people say, well, why don't you just use black glue? Because you kind of see the white. I've used black glue before and I actually have a batch of it on the way, and I'm going to do an updated tutorial how to use the black glue because I do get that question a lot. For some reason, I feel like the black glue is a different consistency than the clear. So when it goes on or when you apply it, it melts literally into a liquid, and I literally have burns on my thigh. Like it melted and dripped, like how you see when it the clear melts, it melts into a liquid but it sits there. With the black, I feel like it's a lot more messy and that it'll melt and actually like get on your skin and your surfaces, and that's just my experience. I've burnt myself twice where it literally burned, scabbed, and it looked like I probably should have went to the emergency room, like literally. So that's just my preference. I do find that the black does look much neater. Also, when it comes to the glue, as it gets like everywhere all over your wig, you can wait till it completely dries, and it'll kind of dry hard and you can kind of pick it and pull it off. Typically I just wait to the end. Also, you see the kind of like stringy glue that's on like my hand, or sometimes it'll get through the hair. That literally comes out whenever you comb the hair, brush the hair, or just pull it, pick it out. This is just a quick option if you do want to sew your wig because you don't like the glue or you do want it to last longer. Pretty much we use the same method. Now we've gotten through one bundle, and as you can see, that one bundle was pretty full. For the remainder of this wig, we're going to use exactly 2 more bundles. So make sure that you're spacing out your wig or the bundles enough so that you will have enough when you get to the top and you won't have to worry about skipping at the top. But at the same time, make sure it's full, but not too full, and then you're not like clumping the tracks on top of each other. Kind of just, you know, finesse it. And if you want, just put aside, you know, a couple rows so that you know that you have enough for the top in case you run out. I would rather have the middle be empty or even the back, but never, ever, ever, ever the front. And worst case scenario, if you did run out of bundles, this is glue that peels off, so you can kind of go to the back or the middle and pull 1 or 2 tracks out, kind of pull off the excess glue and use it in the top or wherever you may have tracks showing. Just a little bit of a tip. Whenever the glue dries, for example, if I sneezed while applying the glue to the cap and it got everywhere, I could literally let it dry and it would peel up. Also, if you don't want to peel it, the hot glue melts dry glue, if that makes any sense. So if you have glue in an area and then you're going to lay a new track on top of where that glue is, when you apply that fresh batch of hot glue, it'll melt the old glue. So it's not like you're caking it on, if that makes any sense. I hope all of these tips and pointers are making sense to you guys. Now, as you get to the top, you will see that it will start to form a U. So at some point, you're going to go from making these U-shaped tracks, or, you know, applying these U-shaped tracks to applying them straight across. You can start about here, but I think I'm going to go up maybe 1 or 2 more tracks. Can't really remember at this point. Just make sure that you're pressing it in with something, like use, you know, the back of the hot glue gun or something to press it in. And a lot of times, especially when I'm doing these tutorials, I will find that the tracks will get a little bit slanted. That is not really a big issue. It won't, like, you know, ruin your wig, just as long as they meet, you know, all the way at the top. Now, you don't want it to be going horizontal or, you know, the opposite direction or something crazy. But, you know, if you get a little bit slanted, you know, just kind of with the next one, try to meet it and catch it up. And, you know, if you got to go back in and, you know, lift the hairpin and fill in gaps after the fact, that is also an option. So here I am. I feel like it's too deep of a U, so I'm going to start laying the tracks directly across. At this point, I'm going to cut the wefts at the very end of the step. So basically, I just take the whole bundle, I apply the glue, and then I lay the track immediately on top of it. Once it gets really dry, I go ahead and cut off the excess. Before, I was measuring out how much of a track I needed, applied the glue, applied the track, and it was done. So kind of doing it a little bit different. You can use either method that you choose at any given point. It's just a matter of comfort. So if you want to do this method at the back and just kind of like apply your glue, apply the track, once it dries a little bit, cut off the bundle, that works well. I just find that when the bundle is extremely long in the back, it just kind of gets in the way. But again, it's all about preference. So here I'm no longer showing the whole like apply the glue, you know, method, just because we're at the end. I think you guys get the hang of it. You just kind of see me applying the actual tracks so that you can kind of see my placement. I get a lot of questions on washing the wigs. I did a tutorial. I have a link down below where I dyed some hair like a really nice blonde a couple of months ago and have a purple shirt on. It was like a honey blonde. That was on a hot glue wig. This is actually a wig that I'm going to be dyeing as well, and I am going to be applying the bleach, washing the bleach out real good and all that greatness while it is glue. So this glue can get wet. It's just more so like grease and oil that may make your tracks move. The tracks will move, don't get me wrong, but if you wash it, you should be okay. If you're going for longevity, this is just, you know, a fun wig for me, but if you are going for longevity, I would highly recommend that you wait as long as you can to apply water to it, you know, at least wear it for about 2 weeks, wash it, you know, condition it, air dry it. A lot of times if I need a quick wash, I'll just wash the ends and not necessarily get the cap wet, and that's, you know, what I highly recommend. But, you know, like I said, I've dyed, bleached, cake bleach in there and all that, and it's been just fine for me. But I just don't want you guys to do that and then your tracks come up, you know what I mean? But everything I use is listed in the description bar. This is 3 bundles and a frontal, and you can see how full it looks. If I had to guess an eyeball, I would have guessed that this was about 4 bundles, but we're not done. So remove the T-pin that's holding the frontal down, pull it back, and then it's going to be cap underneath where you applied that frontal, because remember, you applied the frontal on top of a cap. You have to cut that out, that way you get the effect of a frontal, and the wig will lay flat. That piece that you pulled out had a band attached to it. I cut off the excess mesh around it and just kept the spandex. The spandex part of it, it kind of looks like that part in the back of the wig, and I just went ahead and sewed that off camera. I have a tutorial on how I apply my elastic bands, and I have that link down below, but I did skip through that for the sake of time on this video. Here we are adding powder. I highly recommend that you bleach your knots, but if you choose not to, this is an amazing option to make the lace match and blend with your skin. Now, I am old school, especially because you used glue to make this wig. I highly recommend that you use a scarf to lay it down while you do your makeup or whatever, and that's it.
I'm hoping that you guys enjoyed that quick tutorial. Hopefully it was helpful for some of you. This hair definitely was a pleasure to work with, and in the end, I don't know if you can tell, but it is super full with a nice body wave texture. All I did was add water in my wet. I will have the wet and the water bottle and all the stuff that I used listed in the description box for you guys to check out. I did pluck the hairline off camera. I'll show you guys how to do that in another video. But for the moment that you have been waiting for, I'm pretty sure that you guys are all interested in entering the hair giveaway. So let's talk about how to enter. So I have my email here. I don't want to miss anything because it is very detailed. There are coupons in the description bar for you guys to get money off your purchase. But for those of you who also want to try and enter to win the hair, there will be 3 winners. Okay, so all of the giveaway rules are listed in the description bar. You must be subscribed to me here on YouTube. You must be subscribed to Westkiss. You also have to do a bunch of other things. I follow them on Instagram and yada yada yada. First prize winner will win 16, 18, 20-inch bundles. And then they also win a 14-inch lace closure. You'll be able to pick a texture of your choice, and that'll be just for 1 grand prize winner. The second prize winner is going to win a 12, 14, and 16-inch bundles, and then they'll be able basically to pick any texture of their choice. And then there also is a option for the third prize, and pretty much all of you will qualify for that. So make sure that you check the description bar, and all of the details are laid out exactly. I know sometimes I talk a little bit fast, so I want you guys to be able to go there and read everything in detail so that I don't mess up anything and you guys don't miss anything. So this giveaway will last 7 days. So basically the contest will be up 7 days from today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out that giveaway information in the description bar. Also, make sure that you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, whether or not you want to win the giveaway. But if you definitely want to win that giveaway, you must be subscribed to me and Westkiss here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.